open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me. So alive, make it last forever. Stop in time, yeah, I'm surrendering. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. Can make me move. You invincible. Back from the dead.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're all invited to go fucking mental on this motherfucking drop. The countdown has just begun.
Welcome in here, Apac. We find ourselves in open number 2. My name's Wolfie Tua in the booth with Orbital. We have some banger teams ready to compete for a chance at main event next week. It's do or die here today.
It really, really is. We're now into the Swiss bracket. It's time to show up or get out. That is what we're going to be seeing. Got Swiss stage on the docket, and a lot of teams vying it out, so a lot of chances to get that number of wins you need to be able to compete.
Well, and this is kind of where you're looking. You have 5 games here today to try to win 3. You don't want to allow yourself to really see this first game as one of those where, okay, we're kind of just trying to see what the rest of the tournament has. You know, by game 4, by game 5, the early matches can be so precious. But, you know, who's going to be in it? Kind of looking at the 2 pools here. In pool number 1, the top 4 teams that saw themselves in here, expecting a lot from this pool. Project de la Cruz, the number 1 team here in Apac. Right behind them, Ground Zero, North Star Gaming, and the Big Dogs. Coming in here in pool number 2, our top 4 squads in our pool here tonight. And, you know, one where I feel we can really go out the deepest. I'm looking for pool 1, especially for Ground Zero and Project de la Cruz to be making it tomorrow. No questions asked here tonight, Orbital. Is there any teams that you're a bit familiar here in pool 1?
You know what? I haven't had the chance to really take a look at the APAC region, but I am thrilled to watch North Star Gaming. I think that would be a lot of fun. They made it through. They had a bye just like usual. They made it into this set here. They didn't have to play in double elimination, and they're in the top 4 for a reason. I know you said Project de la Cruz and Big Dogs were some to watch, but of course, everyone here in pool 1 will be very, very fun to kind of kick things off. I think North Star would be one to watch for, you know, Lunar as well as Balariz and LCT. I want to see what they can do.
Well, those are 3 players that you put on the pitch. They're going to be able to do anything they want. But pool number 2, the one that matters for us here tonight, and I feel it's going to come in at a big aspect. But, you know, Kinder True Gaming, the number 1 seed here, overlooked, who, you know, they just got signed right now. This is a team who, in Daybreak Frontline, had a lot of people talking about where they could potentially go. And, you know, they signed the Inc., another team that saw themselves in First Stella. Right now, the 3rd seed in our group, and another squad who found themselves signing Inc. and Rapier. They found themselves with Finchy, Rigorous, and Echo here tonight. Will Kayanga coming in here as a sub, who will be playing in game number 1. You know, what do you feel there? A sub coming in and starting off the day.
I think it's best that it happened for the first game, right? Like, that is the best opportunity you could have had. Whenever it comes to this, whenever it comes to Swiss bracket style, all of the variabilities really do funnel at the beginning. You have a matchup, you're looking to get lucky. I mean, you're facing off against technically 12, 15 other teams. If you're going to have a sub, it is right here, right now, in your first game where you are hopefully not being matched up against some of the other top contenders. So, do I think it will affect how Godspeed is going to play? Yes, quite possibly. I believe, as you mentioned, Kayanga doesn't really have a whole lot of matches played. We don't know too much of how well this player is going to play, but it picked up as a sub. Obviously, there is some backing to it. You're not just going to pick up a random pug out of there. So I assume it's going to be good, but if you don't mesh well, I mean, the first series is definitely the best place to kind of practice your way in.
Well, looking at the way all these players played in open number 1, coming here open number 2, I'm expecting a lot. Echo last season, he saw himself really leading the team in goals, coming in here with .88 goals differential and the number 1 right now for this squad. But picking up rigorous, we're going to see him later on in the day see himself as an assist machine. .80, almost getting 1 assist per game here. He's going to be a huge distributor, and I feel that mesh up between those two are going to look amazing throughout the night. But the man that we said at the sub, no stats for him at all via Blast.tv. So he's saying, hey, there's no film on me. I'm about to go off.
Yeah, I mean, this is the best time to ever make yourself look good on an official tournament, right? Like, if there's ever a moment to stat farm, this would be it. You have a very low amount of games played. Go ahead, show up. If you 3-0 your first round, hey, that's an immediate show up for anyone else. If they are looking for a team right now, obviously they're a sub here, maybe they stay here a little bit. I don't know, but you are going to try and match with some of the best out there. At least we hope so, and match with those goals, match with those assists along the line. I'll be very much watching.
Well, you talk about subs becoming starters. The team who I'm really looking forward to looking at in this split is going to be Goblin Barrel. Rapupi, Hirio, and Tank. 2 players I've already seen themselves on Godspeed, and Tank coming in with so much background himself. They're a sneaky play for me. I feel for Pool 2, there's so many people, there's so many teams in this 16 that can really take games from anybody. I don't think it's safe, and that's why I feel in game number 1, when you're looking at seeding, you're getting the benefit of the doubt of saying, hey, we're the higher seed right now. The admins, they saw what we've been able to do. Let's not let that go to waste and go down 0-1. Remember, with Swiss, you play someone with the same record as you. You lose your first game, you play another team that's lost. You win your first game, you play a team that's won, and you go on from there. So you're saying, hey, the match is always going to be equal. Let's try to come out here in game number 1 where we're supposed to have the advantage and really take it.
Yeah, and again, it goes back to the fact that, hey, if you're having a sub, if you have any issues, it's good to iron it out for the first series. If there's ever a series that is going to, in my opinion, rely much more on individual talent, especially with a sub in, this would be it. You can slot them in, hey, use a little bit of those games to really practice up, get used to the timing, get used to how your teammates want to play, and then by series 2, that substitute doesn't feel like a sub. It feels like someone you've been playing with maybe for a couple months or so. That is the best way to progress onwards while still trying to gather those wins across the board, because if you do go down 2 series, yeah, you're playing against maybe other O2 teams, but then you start falling in with the other teams that are vying in that maybe 1-2 or 2-2 spot. It is so dire, and the mental stress that can hit you, especially on a day 2. Like, nobody wants to go out on day 2. You made it here. You don't want to be under that duress.
Especially for the teams that played yesterday. They said, hey, we already went through an entire day of Rocket League. We don't want our lives to end like this. And, that's why I feel, get things going early, like you mentioned. Having a sub coming in early on, I don't think that really plays a disadvantage. Maybe when you're looking at some of these teams, they know how you look through the scrims. They may have been playing everybody, but a sub, now a little wrench in the equation here might just change the tides. But I'm looking for Godspeed here in game number 1 to really show that dominance. It's a best of 5. In game 1, you kind of just put your toe into the water, like we mentioned, and this is where you're trying to see, all right, how can we improve and get better from here? But, one team that I'm not looking forward to, and I kind of do not want to see here, is Kinnatroop. Furlash, Maxu, and Cash, a team that also has Realize there. I believe Realize is the starter there. Start might have him as a sub, but that would be the greatest sub to ever come out besides Turbo Pulsa. But, that is a team that I'm scary, and I feel that we might see them after this first game, depending on if we can come out here and get the W. But
Yep.
wow, it's where you're staying stacked. Overlook just got signed, so I'm looking for
Yep.
Taha, Lunatic, and J-Box to make a statement saying, "Hey, we have the org buff now. We're going to come out here and play to an even better level. We're called Overlook, but we're not going to be able to be underlooked as this one continues going on."
Yeah, I actually want to add to that. Overlooked was the one here in Group 2 or Pool 2 that I was actually very interested in. Whenever we see signings, two things can happen. One is you do get that player buff. You do get to say, "Hey, I'm playing well. I gotta play well," because again, if it's such a recent signing, there is kind of an onus to play well. You just got signed. It means that there are a lot of expectations on your back, and I feel like they are going to not just play better, but play hungrier as well to make a statement behind it. They come into this as a second seed. I feel like they might kind of lash out a little bit at maybe Kinotrope or anyone else that they face off against. You want to put your best foot forward. So as much as you want to say Kinotrope Gaming, yes, I understand that, but Overlooked, I'm actually even more worried for. If they're a team that is actively looking to prove their mettle and prove that they deserve these contracts, you're wondering if they're going to do a little bit oddball stuff, shift their play style, that if you've been watching VODs and all of these other opportunities, all of a sudden those might have to go out the window.
Exactly. It's being able to adapt on the fly. Allow yourself to use that Rocket League IQ to really be the difference. But a team that I actually have no recollection of is Firstella, Amtel, Arrow, and Akara. 3 players I've never seen play, and I've been in Apac for quite a bit. So I'm interested to see. These are players that I can't even predict on, hey, if we play them, are we going to be able to really get the dominant portion of them? Yes, they're the 3rd seed, we're the 4th. We're right there neck and neck, but this is where Godspeed's trying to say, hey, we might be the 4th seed, but doesn't mean anything. But this one coming through, the 4th seed versus the 12th seed, Tough Baby Method, going to come in here onto the docket for the first game tonight.
Hey, listen, they're going to enjoy themselves. They're going to be tough, and they got a method to do something. I don't know. Listen, I love the team name, but this is, in my opinion, probably one of the better matchups that you could ask for Godspeed. And this is, again, as I was saying, the best part of Swiss in the opening matchup. If you have a sub, it's the ability to use this time to sharpen yourself in there. So I really do appreciate that you get someone that, no hate, by the way, you made it through day 1, you made it through the double elimination, but it's a team that is not really high on the priority list. Now, it doesn't mean that you can slow down, but for Godspeed, you can use this time to kind of test out what you can get away with. Are you going to run a little bit more conservatively in terms of how you utilize your sub? If Kayanga wants to go much more aggressive, hey, how are we going to mesh that into our style? All of this can come to a head against Tough Baby Method.
Well, and this is where you're saying, can we put Baby in the corner? And I think for Godspeed, you have to in game number 1. And, Jono, Wildfire, Hashir, players I'm not really used to, but I think when you're the underdog, that kind of says, hey, we have nothing to lose here tonight. Let's go out there and put a shocker on display.
Yeah, I mean, and especially if they are going to hopefully give their best, I do hope that they go ahead and play hard and not be discouraged by facing off immediately against one of the top 4 seeds that has made it in as we're onto the pitch.
Well, onto the pitch. 5 minutes here in game number 1. Rlcs action upon us here, Orbital, as Godspeed, they're looking to be the aggressive early. We're talking about how this team needs to start fast. Godspeed's trying to say, hey, we got our full sub. Rigorous is playing, so the sub not going to be coming in here tonight so far. So it should be interesting to see what these 3 can put on.
Talking about it, but hey, if you got everyone, it's even better. Nice dig out of the goal, though, to start things off. Tough Baby Method already looking very aggressive with their start, which I do like. Not taking that time to kind of slow things down, check out the opponent. They're trying to land those goals ASAP before Godspeed get in a much more comfortable position, but Godspeed with their defense looks stellar.
And Tough Baby Method right now, they're doing a great job of just making things awkward for Godspeed. Good touch there, will not be able to go, but it's for Godspeed. On their half more than they felt they were in the first 60 seconds. Tough Baby Method, they're trying to scheme, they're trying to plot, but can they find a way to get through? We'll have to find out.
So far, it's also being played on the sidelines pitch, left side for Tough Baby Method, right side of the pitch for Godspeed. I don't think we've even come close to the middle ground, so it's very much on a much more straightforward method. Now it's going to be Godspeed to bring it out to the mid, start challenging in the center of the field, and look for a chance on the net, but still on defense. Tough Baby Method keeping the pressure on.
And this is where Tough Baby Method, they know at the very least, we got to make this team sweat. We got to find a way to get in. Tough Baby Method, a method to the madness. And it comes out with the first goal.
Sheer, very, very comfortable. And this just feels like unrelenting aggression, right? For Godspeed, they got pulled outside of their net, and it was just a stray opportunity. It almost felt like Godspeed thought someone else was going to be there, and all three of them kind of lost for words. Another high bounce, though, as yet again, Tough Baby Method keeping this pressure on. Boost out, making sure that they fight as hard as possible for their second goal.
Well, this is where we mentioned this is a team that, you know, they had during Roster Mania a quick change there, so they're saying, hey, we got to get adjusted. It's different when the lights are bright. It's different than when you're in scrims. This is now where you have to really perform, and I think this team with the first goal down, it's where they're going to say, hey, we got to calm down, we got to reset, we got to just play our type of ball game.
Will it continue, though, is, of course, the question. Whenever this game 1 occurs, maybe Godspeed are saving up for games 2 and 3 and 4 if they want to, but you know, maybe they're also just taking the first half in tow. It's going to be a great attempt there. Finchy rolling it straight through the middle, but couldn't dribble past the defenders. So just a slow roll off the corner. A chance by Echo, but it ain't going to land.
Well, we were talking about that assist game, what Rigorous brings to a team. Almost had a full assist per game last open, so he's looking to get the main goal scorer here in Echo really situated early on. Look for those two to pair up here on this first goal for them.
Right now, Finchy holding it down here. And for Tough Baby Method, their goal scoring patterns have obviously slowed down, but also it looks more individualistic as well. John trying to take it all the way through for their own. Echo with a nice defense there, but gets demoed out. Slow chunks about. Wildfire keeping the pace up once again. And in 3 minutes so far, Godspeed, very low goal attempts. This might be like the third or fourth that we've seen from them.
Yeah, this team right now stalling out in that department, and I feel it's just they're not situated. They haven't been comfortable at all, and I feel that first 60 seconds, Tough Baby Method really put on the tempo for them. They're trying to get themselves rekindled. We'll see if they can, but the demo's starting to come in. That gets in the back of the head of a player here. This is where they have to say, hey, don't worry about them. We'll work through. We'll try to find our shots. Rigorous quick flick won't be able to find much, as this one will find a way back onto the Godspeed side. Tough Baby Method with close to 60 seconds remaining, trying to take the lead here in this best-of-5 series.
I mean, they're looking real good for it. Of course, one goal is never really one to breathe a sigh of relief about, but they've really pushed Godspeed into a rough spot. Godspeed don't really want to go down one, and Finchy says we won't. They tie it up with 45 left. Good timing to go ahead and apply pressure.
Exactly what you want from the type of player. The import, only from Finland, sees himself scoring the first from Godspeed. And remember, we were talking about Finchy, his saves was not leading this team in goals, but first want to set things off. That's exactly what you need from that type of player. So much from him on this squad, but a goal right back. Will it go? No, it won't. Still a defensive masterclass coming there at the goal line.
I mean, that's a dig and a half, but good defense. Once again, Godspeed showing off the defense that they had back in the first minute of the game as well. Very, very tough to get past them. As long as their heads are on a swivel, they will always have one in net. Tough Baby Method, though, 15 seconds left. Are they going to have that chance? Echo tries to roll it on in, but it ain't going to happen. 10 seconds before we hit OT. John goes high. Echo is there, and they roll it in with 7 seconds left. What a score in a turnaround, 2 straight for Godspeed.
Oh, don't call it a comeback. This team has been in it the entire way. Took them some time with 7 seconds remaining. The lead goal scorer sees himself with his first goal here of open number 2.
Very, very comfortable, and it feels like Echo with a great little fake there. Bumps one, sets it up for a team, but it don't matter. As just as the time ticks down, Godspeed will take game number 1.
Wow, what a chance there. Not giving up to the very end. This is where Godspeed, the going got tough early on, but they said, we're going to keep going. The blinders for this team. That's what you want to see from a squad. The never say never. They didn't give up. Even when things looked bleak, the offense just didn't seem like it was really developing much, but you know, this is where you're saying, hey, this is a marathon, not a sprint. We take our time here.
Yeah, I mean, that time... Taking your time is the right way to put it. You take a look at the number of shots as well. 9 versus 5. Now, is that a big thing to talk about? talk about, I think so. Again, for the first 2.5 minutes, Godspeed were not on the offense. It felt like Tough Baby Method were constantly on that aggression, constantly fighting against the defense of Godspeed, and the spears that they were throwing, trying to break through the shield, just weren't penetrating as well. So looking into this game number 2, I want to see Godspeed get off that defensive position, start taking it to Tough Baby Method, forcing Tough Baby Method to try and play defense, and I want to see what they can do as well.
Well, one thing as well, I feel for Tough Baby that they played such a great game there in game number 1, where Godspeed, on the other hand, I don't feel they had their best game yet so far. So, you know, you haven't played up to your potential. You still come away with the win. That's some good signs. But game number 2, all bets are off. We're back on the pitch here, 5 minutes. Who will be able to take it? Can Godspeed go to a commanding 2-0 lead, or we see this series all tied up?
I say it might be a little bit different, but Tough Baby Method making sure to start things off with a bang. The squad that rolled through Pool A1 in somewhat stylish fashion only dropped to Sailing Esports 3-1. They took 2 of their earlier matches as well. So I like what they've done here, but they do want to show that they don't deserve to be in the lower bracket of the Swiss stage. They deserve to be feared and deserve to be up 1-0 in series score going into the second round of Swiss.
Well, this is where you look at a team that has so much to prove. I think for Tough Baby Method, they proved a lot with that first goal, that they're coming out here to play. It doesn't matter who's lined up on the other side of it. They're going to come out. They want to get to that top 16 main event. And we said it. You put yourself with the first win of the first series, you're in the captaincy for the rest of the way through. But a lot of aggression on the side of Godspeed. This one will be cut away. The 50 will stay on the Godspeed side, but a quick push will not allow too much. As we see the offense developing, not much to go. Double tap off the back wall will not see itself. The car getting a lot of work there.
Dangerous grounds right now for Tough Baby Method. We saw that divergence, the ball trying to be kicked out, ended up being a 2-tap by Godspeed, which wasn't able to make it into the goal. But Tough Baby Method maybe sweating a little bit here. 1.5 minutes gone, and it is dangerous whenever you see that ball float in front of your goal. They weren't able to clear it as well as Godspeed has been doing so far.
Well, and this is where these high-pressure situations is, can Tough Baby Method be able to handle that? This is a team that wants to see their first time in a main event where Godspeed, these players know what it is. They've been into that top 16. They've been in these moments before, and it's just saying, hey, let's just go through the check boxes, get a first goal. All right, if we need to find that one, will we find it here? Yes, we do. Rigorous. Says Wolfie, you said you need the check boxes. We got the pin. We got the permanent marker. That's going to go in for the first.
And what a play as well. Wildfire was trying to keep it out of the net, and instead you watch as Rigorous just sees an opportunity and sends it top right. It feels bad whenever you let a goal go like that. And again, I said, for Tough Baby Method, their clears weren't as clean, and Godspeed absolutely took advantage of that.
I think about every one of these players now for Godspeed have had their coming out goal for this org, all seen it in this series, and that's what you want to see. Everybody's getting involved. It's not one player, it's not 2 players, it's all 3 of them that can go put a ball behind the net.
So let's see if they can do it once again. We're at that position, first half completed and 1 up by Godspeed. They do want another if possible, but they've been stalwart in setting up their positions. Rigorous can't carry it in on their own, instead giving time to go ahead and gather up some more boosts on the side. Chance opportunity for Tough Baby Method. Are they going to roll through mid? Aerial, not going to land. Hashir tries to pick it up themselves, but no further aggression.
That was a tough one there for Tough Baby Method. Nobody really had boost. 2 players with 0, and you know, there's not much you can do there. As mechanically inclined as you are, no boost, no danger for the most part, but for Godspeed, danger starting to mount. Need to get this right back off their half. Under 2 minutes to go here in game number 2. Rigorous cuts it away quick, but a quick pinch will just give up possession.
And a nice clear as well. Godspeed, I think, willing to kind of punt it away if the position isn't right. However, chance opportunity in front of the net. Nice dive for Finchy. Finchy redirecting that ball. But can Hashir create an opportunity? No. Echo steals that one away. John swings right back. Heavy emphasis on making an individual play, but Godspeed ensuring their 8th opportunity. 1 in net. Can they make an offensive push? No, not going to happen just yet.
On this team right now, you saw yourself do a great job for 3.5 minutes, be able to stop this team from
Oh, what a stop.
Yeah, this team right now, they're living on their half, but they're pitching a tent and saying, we're comfortable, we're just getting warmed up.
That's Scott Sterling levels of defense right there. Rigorous went for 2. I mean, that was a good stop. I gotta give him credit, scoring the 1 goal so far and defending just as well. Godspeed holding on to this 1 goal lead.
And, that's high praise when you put Scott Sterling into the type of discussion here. So,
I mean, he headed that thing like crazy right now. Give him credit where he deserves.
Oh, but right now, Godspeed's and the defense is starting to come up. So can the offense. Rigorous, give him 2.
Went from football to volleyball with how many taps you had there. Beautiful work right past 3 defenders, and Tough Baby Method now watching game 2 pull away from them, and the Godspeed that we know and love starting to shine a little bit more in this series.
This is where Godspeed just don't allow a goal to come in here for Tough Baby Method at all. You don't want to go to a kickoff where anything can happen. Don't give any sort of momentum. Keep this team where they're at, and that's down. For Godspeed, this is the exact position you needed to be at 19 seconds ago. Let's even keep the goose egg on the board.
I like it. I mean, I think it's already a done deal. You can see Tough Baby Method trying, but they're running out of boost very quickly for any sort of offense, whereas Echo is sitting on 100. This defense is locked down, unless they get a little bit cheeky, but Echo has been really good on these clears. I mentioned it before. Easy pinch to the side. Roll up the side, though, as Hashir looking for a bit of an arrow, but a challenge by their own teammate lets the ball fall to the ground, and it will be game 2 to Godspeed.
Well, 2-0, the boys from Godspeed find themselves in a very dominant position right now. And this is where, if you're Tough Baby Method, you started off the series very well. At the very least, you're trying to say, hey, we can't get swept here. We can't let the janitorial staff come in early and allow the brooms to come in. They're fighting for at least 1 game. But for Godspeed, way to pull it back. This team looked a lot better than they did in game number 1. It seemed that they just felt a lot smoother with just how their play style started forming.
Yeah, and I do feel that was Rigorous. Remember, Rigorous was the one that kind of had a little bit of worry. We were sitting there going, okay, is Rigorous going to play or is it going to be Kayanga? And Rigorous said, no, I'm going to stay here. And if so, I deserve to go ahead and have my starter spot. And I'm going to show you why. When you say they looked better in game 2, it really felt like Rigorous actually stepped up for game number 2. And now the question is, are we going to see Echo as well as Finchy do the same for game 3, give us a solid game 3 as well leading into the second series?
I'm expecting that, and especially from how high the goal total for Echo has been over the last couple of splits for himself. So, one where he said, hey, I'm going to allow Rigorous to come in. It's his first day here with this org. It's first day for all of us for this org, and we want to make sure we're all shining. They're shining bright. But in 5 minutes here in game number 3, can they find a way to close it out?
I mean, one way or another, it's going to be a treat and a half. Tough Baby Method don't want to go down like this as well. You want to get your victories and get your wins. But Echo said no dice. Quick demos off the rip as well as Finchy takes out Hashir, forces it to a 2-3 position. But, of course, time has been expended and Tough Baby Method seem to have held. But Echo saying an opportunity, no boost needed as they start things off with a bang and a half.
I think he heard us saying, oh, you want to see me score? Okay, give me a second to cook real quick. I'm putting something together.
I loved every moment of it, and especially out of boost, that I think that's like the best feels good moment where you're not going to have any more speed on you. And Top Baby Method, they expended everything. That's like the most perfect goal that you could have. And we did say, for Godspeed, we wanted more, but Wildfire spreading so quickly, making that early goal nullify. We're sitting at net 0 here in game 3.
Yeah, just torched them there. And what a job. When you're looking down at 3 goals back-to-back, the way Godspeed have been able to put on from the last game and this one, that just settles you down. You're saying, hey, we're equalized again, boys. Let's get right back to where we were in game number 1. We just need to put the aggression onto Godspeed's half. That's where we saw them kind of buckle a little bit. But this team said, hey, we're strapped on in. We need to lock on in. We're back to even in the first 60 seconds.
And I love the fact that for Tough Baby Method, it feels like they've actually tossed away the edge of grace. It feels like they're sending bangers and praying one goes into the net. They've just been super aggressive on sending about midfield options just to see what sticks. And I actually like that change up. They're saying, hey, Godspeed is doing a really good job of holding in the middle, making sure to stop us in front of these backboard chances. And so that shift has put Godspeed into a position where they're also recognizing now it's a fight in the middle of the pitch.
Well, and this is where this team, you're starting to see them start spreading things out. And Rigorous gets an absolute dime there to cash in.
That's what I was saying. You go a little bit too offensive, and Tough Baby Method leave their net a little bit more open, and Godspeed take advantage. +1 for them in this net setup. Especially in the first half, this is the most explosive game so far. Make it a fourth, maybe. Nah, good job by John.
And I love John's name. You know, it's stable. It's where you're saying, hey, I'm going to be here for this team. I have a great credit score. I'm going to have some great goals by the end of it. But for Godspeed, you're up by a goal. This is where you're trying to bleed clock. Allow that clock to be a doomsday clock here for Tough Baby Method. Let them start panicking and find a way to get goals when you see them outstretching themselves.
Yeah, this is gonna be that test at the end of the day. Good steal away from Echo. A chance back. It's a ball to the left side. Pick up by Finchy. The rocket down with a pinch on the ground. Good demo on the back end as well. Wildfire stalling out that aggressive push right there. We bleed through the first 2 minutes. A lot of blood on the ground, but these last 3 will be interesting.
And this is
what a drop. Wildfire!
Oh, man. He has been the MVP for this team so far. What a job on the offensive side. Has always seemed to be able just to slice and dice and make things right. But Godspeed, 2-2 game. Tough Baby Method crawl themselves all the way back. But this is where the baby will walk for the first time. We'll have half a game to find out.
Yeah, I love it. This is Tough Baby Method also saying we don't want to go down like this one. We've been aggressive since game number 1, by the way. I will give them that. Tough Baby Method have been overly aggressive this entire series, and they really don't want to go out like this one. 2-2 right now. Are they going to find that right opportunity to try and break the tie?
Well, you never want to get something on your first game, or your first series of the day. The first series is always almost that heat check for you, that mental, where you're saying, all right, where can we get in? If they can come out, they're playing very respectful right now, to a point where I feel a lot of teams are going to be playing this squad and having some tough time against them. But they need to get out of this one. It's one game at a time, one goal at a time here for Tough Baby Method. But Godspeed, this is where they have to start putting the pressure on and see if they're ready for the pressure cooker.
They're going to be nice and fluffy, or are they going to have some other issues in there? We'll see if the pressure creates a diamond or a flop. I think they're going to be more than appealing, though, as that's a demo out with Echo, stopping John from standing in the front. Rigorous sends it off to the left side. It looks like they're just trying to keep it out of hands of Tough Baby Method, making sure that they don't get a strong offensive started here in the last minute and a half. This year tried, but misses.
Well, I saw Rigger saw Echo there, but Echo bailing out. I don't think he liked the position or the amount of boost he potentially had, and I like that there. Don't make something out of nothing if you don't have to. Right now, it's where you're leading the series. You don't have to go for broke. You can just come in, play compactful. They know that Tough Baby Method, they need this goal more than you do.
Yes, 100%. When you know that pressure is on as well, they're bound to crack, which Tough Baby Method have actually allowed before. However, that demo is big, opens up space on the left side pitch. Rigorous tries to deny. Nice bump out of the air as well, denying Tough Baby Method for another 15 seconds of sheer. Watching that timer wind down, you don't want to sit in OT. Finchy trying to put this one away as Echo spots it. Wildfire with a great deke back, slowing down this advancement. Everyone kind of scuffling.
Yeah, and you're seeing it here. Last 30 seconds, this is where you have to just say, hey, we got to continue playing the amount of Rocket League we have been. This one will not see it.
There it is.
But we will see the cleanup crew. Echo says, echo my name through the halls. This one going in.
I cannot believe that happened as well. Echo was the one to start it. It became jumbled. The 50-50 landed right in front. It was a dead ball, and Echo put it away themselves. It's that rare opportunity. Echo's about to slam yet another great stop by John, but not enough. As Echo says, thank you very much. It's a 2 to end it here.
This is where the most important portion of Rocket League, Jinxie said it today versus Musty, is the kickoffs. And right now, Godspeed, in the final couple seconds, put themselves up to in a very crucial position.
I love it. And not only that, Echo gets to end with a hat trick when we said we wanted to see more action, when we said we want to see their goals go up. It's a statement and a half. Wildfire, though, able to draft one back. Not bad within one. And if they're able to do it in just about 18 seconds, I wonder what they can do with 6.
Yeah, I think that fires me with gasoline, because you cannot put him out. He has just been amazing for this squad.
All right, let's see it 5 seconds, high ground. Wildfire has it one more time, but they let it touch, and Hashir digs it. Can something happen here? This is their lifeline. Great diversion, though, by Finchy, and puts it to the ground. Well done, Godspeed. 3-0 their opening round.
Well, when things look good for Tough Baby Method, it couldn't get any tougher for Godspeed. They pulled it out. And this is where you're saying the resilient. I think game number 1, winning that game kind of set the tone here. I think Tough Baby Method, they had it in their back pocket. To see it slip away like that was one where they said almost so close, but no reward. But what a job. Godspeed, they turned it on. They found ways to get it done. And that's what you want to see from a team like this.
Yeah, I love that they almost grew exponentially throughout this series. It really did feel like a warm-up series. Game 1, slow and steady. Game 2, a little bit more fire from Vigorous. Game 3, Echo, right on point. Hot streak throughout, hat trick for them. And yeah, it was close. It was a +1 in their favor. It was a 4-3 at the end, but it's still enough, right? Much higher goal scoring, much more aggressive in that stance. I hope Godspeed carries it into the second series.
Well, and looking at who potentially is already into the second series, we'll have a lot of games still going on. For Stella, currently beat Raw 3-1. Kino Troop currently up 2-1 against Bear Claw Gaming, who we were talking about them earlier. Unfortunately for Spite, EQ'd against J Chicken Esports. But a lot of games still coming in here, ladies and gentlemen. We still need to find out who we play next. Don't go anywhere. Smash the heart button. Leave a follow. We're growing every single day. We need your help to continue doing that. But Orbital, Godspeed right now, any message to them as before we go to the break on what they can potentially do going up 1-0 into the next series?
Keep that fire burning. As you said, it's a marathon, not a sprint, and you need enough firewood to keep those engines hot for your second series and beyond.
Well, and beyond, we'll be back, ladies and gentlemen, with some more Godspeed Rocket League. The action continues for Rlcs Apac. My name's Wolfie2 on in here with Orbital. We just saw a great first round here from Godspeed. In game number one, where they took it down to the wire, were able to get it. They were able to get the sweep. But now all that's behind us. We find ourselves now right in the midst of round two. Kinoko Soup got themselves a win in round number one, just like us. But now two undefeated teams find themselves playing against each other.
And in very different fashions as well. As you mentioned, for Godspeed, the games might have been a little bit closer than it seemed, but it's still a 3-0 at the end of the day. However, from what I saw, Kinoko Soup maybe went a little bit faster, but it was an overall 3-2 victory. Dropped 2 games in there. So for Godspeed and Kinoko Soup, it's all about shoring up your gameplay in one way or another. That's what I'm looking for here in the second series.
And they played a quality team in Zen Esports, a team where I was looking at, especially with Squiggly, Weens, and Grayson. Weens is known for himself to be a mechanical god himself. Squiggly just a veteran of the Apac scene. So a squad who I kind of circled in this bracket to do a lot. So with Kinoko Soup saying, hey, we're bowling soup tonight. We're going to be throwing this at you, hot or cold. Can you be able to handle it? I think Godspeed should be able to. This team, we saw them take some time. I wonder if it's game number one in this second series is going to be the same as the first.
Yeah, I hope they aren't going to be a little bit slower off the block. I mean, obviously we've had a little bit of a break as a lot of the matches, again, we were 3-0. Godspeed did really well there, but a lot of the matches took a little bit, and now it's like, hey, are you actually going to be cold heading in to this next game? Do I think so? Absolutely not. I think Godspeed are going to keep their pace up and push through, but for Kanoko's Soup, we got Shaolin, as well as Mikon and Cannon. These three are going to do their best to give us a tight game. And already Godspeed says you want pace, you want play. We got both.
Well, you said a tight game. What a wide angle here from Echo, just putting this through in the corner. What a chance here. And they said, hey, we took some time in game number 1 last time, but that was just us dipping our toe. We are fully immersed into this pool, and now we're trying to see if we can swim some laps.
Not only that, I feel like Vinnel was taking a little bit longer in that corner pocket, and it was just a great up challenge. Godspeed are like, dude, if you're going to take your time, we're going to force play on you, and you're not going to enjoy that. Really good steal, really good push, and you can see Kanoko's Soup not willing to acknowledge it. So now it's Kanoko's Soup that I fear had to play up to the speed of Godspeed. And for Godspeed, it's just keep the pace on like Echo's going to do here. That's going to be the second right there, looking for an early hat trick.
And nobody with boost there. You see on that replay, 0 and 4. Mikon being the only one with boost. That's not going to be enough. One man can't be a wall, and Godspeed trying to go through him. But a quick 2-0 here. Godspeed put themselves on the board quickly with deuces. We'll see if we'll see Soup right now and Kinoko Soup be able to retaliate quick, and they have to. They can't let Godspeed have this lead for too long. Yes, we're the Godspeed stream, but for Kinoko Soup, they're trying to say, hey, we're trying to make sure everybody in attendance watching sees the best that we can bring out.
I mean, for Godspeed, though, they're saying the exact same. They know that the first series wasn't exactly their best, but you want to play at this higher pace of, higher pace throughout the series. You want to keep this exceptional offense going. It's a slow roller. Vinnel tried to go with the dribble, but it's not going to work. Godspeed comfortable now as they shifted from offense to defense, said, hey, we don't need to hard play you. We're just going to play the field and find that opportunity right under Vinnel's feet. The wheels were spinning, but the block ain't there.
Well, nice and easy. Just a little tap here. Puts it in the corner. What a job right now. Godspeed, a quick 3-0. They did not take too much time. They said this defense, we feel it, and we're going to go right in. And for Kinoko Soup, this kickoff goal, that's what you want. Slow the roll, get yourself on the board. That's going to be the first one in here.
All right, so both teams took a page out of the books of Tough Baby Method. They said, hey, aggression is the name of the game. We're a minute and a half into the game. Let's just score as many goals as we can. Screw it. We will have 0 defense, which I appreciate at the end of the day. However, it's going to be a whole different story as Vinnel does it again. Pops 2 in, and Kanoko's Soup are cooking.
Okay, this is where, for Godspeed, take a break, take a breather. You put yourself in a weird position now. But, Kinoko Soup, this is the reason this team was able to win in 5 games. That means this team is battle-tested. They can go the length and be able to come out. It's not going to be a cakewalk here for Godspeed, but you have to say, hey, we got our fork, we got our plate. Let's try to see if we can eat quickly. We don't want to play with our food.
Yeah, I mean, I did say that I want to see them bring up that pace after that first goal, and it seems like they've done so. So who is actually going to show up their defense first, or are they just going to continue with this overall aggression? It feels like Godspeed might have a handle on this offensive turn. That's a challenge right back. High boost for themselves if they wish to play it. Shaolin goes ahead and drops theirs. Kanoko's Soup, the turn is over. Is there going to be another Vinnel with a great demo?
Well, and this is where you're seeing Godspeed now. They're starting to get on the offensive a bit. They're starting to allow their mechs to start coming through. Unfortunately, Echo just couldn't push that one past. But this is where Godspeed at halftime. They're leading by 1, trying to continue on this lead. Rigorous is going to have a whole lot of boost and a whole lot of room to work for himself. We'll just leave it. Not much to see, but a demo will just take him straight out of here.
And it's a really nice stop by Shaolin as well. Considering you dropped it in the midfield, it's a very dangerous position if the opponent gets it. So Godspeed had an opportunity. They're still on the offensive, which is really, really good. But for Kanoko's Soup, you can't let too many of those happen. Godspeed quite literally have 3 goals because of opportunities like that, because they were able to kind of expand on it. If you leave them one too many, Godspeed are going to try and run the show here in the second half.
No, it's always the fear early on is going up too quickly, too early. Because sometimes you take your foot off the gas and say, hey, now we just can coast in a little bit. Kanoko Soup's saying, hey, you coast. We're going to be able to just make the drag race and just say, hey, we're going to blow right on past. They're doing a good job putting on some pressure. Gotsby right now just a bit awkward. Have had a couple shots on the net. But we'll see if they can get a couple more to go through. Big pass, big defensive save there.
Love it. Listen, gotta keep your net safe. A little bit of a drop off there. Finchy was looking for a slow opportunity in. Kanoko Soup read it well. Double up on the defense, push it out of their own goal line. Shaolin trying to do their best as well. It ain't gonna work in time. Down to a minute and a half. We are waiting to see who exactly is going to come out on top. Rigorous looking for an opportunity as well, but Demo's out as Vino's starting to get physical.
A big demo, you're starting to see, you're talking about physicality, those start getting to a point where you're saying, hey, we don't have too much room to breathe here. They're just going to be smothering us all over. But that's where you're saying, hey, they're going to play us man, they're going to play right on top of me. I got to find a way to get the passes going. We saw assist come after assist, but right now a solo play ties things up here under 60 seconds.
I mean, that's one way to do it. Shalom waiting for the right time and scores, but we've seen Godspeed also play under pressure. What was it, game 1 of their opening series? They played under pressure and got 2 within a minute, so it is very doable.
Well, the only thing different was that they were the ones that were down. This one, they were up for the most of it, and this is where we talked about it a little bit. Hey, you're up by a lot. Do you kind of just say the blinders are no longer there? I'm kind of looking at what the landscape looks like and not really in front of me. Godspeed just has to dial it back in. You dominated this early portion, but it's not how you start a game. It's how you finish.
Good finish might come a little bit faster than they were like. Vino tries the solo shot on net, gets the shot, but doesn't get the goal. Echo picks it up on the back end. 20 seconds. How hard are you going to roll, or are we going to see OT? So roll over to the right side. Missed by Shalom. Just tried to pick it up, but it's not going to be there. Finchy kicks it high. Nikon goes up as well. 5 seconds left. High ball. It's in the air. Echo tries to hold it, but it rolls. Finchy has a chance. Kicks it high. Bounces off the backboard. Rigorous looking for a shot. Taps it once again. Are they going to carry it in? Slow roll in. Vinal can't make it happen. We're going to OT.
Oh, man. I didn't know if overtime was going to lose us or not, but welcome in the first overtime here of Open Quals number 2 for Rlcs Apac. And, usually OTs, this is where you're saying who can find a way to score quickly. You don't want to allow yourself to get too in this series or in this game for too long. That's when the mistakes start to come through. Can you play your best Rocket League at the highest for the longest? That's what this is going to be able to prove. As a quick pass down the lane, won't see too much action. Godspeed trying to win possession here, but a quick 50-50. We'll just put it onto the half, but a quick clear there.
For Echo, it's just watching this ball inch ever closer to your own nets. It's a dangerous spot. Kanoko Soup fighting hard, almost a minute past ball, sprints out to the center. Shalom picks it up. Egon tries to send it high, but Echo holds onto it once again. No boost, good challenge. And she picks it up. High ball straight to the backboard, but intercepted by Shalom. Minute completed as both teams starting to field into that war of attrition.
Big shot, and you're starting to see Godspeed. They're playing for that assist right now. And I love the fact they're trying to spread this ball, trying to be elusive with it. Don't be one-dimensional, but they're trying to find anything to separate themselves. Doing a good job of maintaining boost. That's going to be the difference at the end of this one, in my opinion. But Godspeed right now trying to hold on, trying to get off their half. A lot of action on the orange half here for Godspeed, just trying to clear this one away.
Wondering how Godspeed break this. They tried fast pace. They tried a little bit slower team play. A couple passes inside to the net. They haven't really found much magic so far. It's just been denials of Kanoko Soup as well. Godspeed, how did they break kind of this stalemate here? It always feels like those slow bumps are good. Can they convert off of it? Vinal being a great mainstay center, making sure that ball always falls back into Kanoko Soup's hands.
Well, it's going to be smart demo here. I feel for the one man who allows for that first pass to go in. Allow yourself to be able to clear the back line. Give some extra help off ball. See if you can just wither away those defenses, especially right now. Everyone's going to be on high alert. 1 or 2 demos could be the difference between winning and losing this ball game. As Godspeed looking for a shot, won't see too much. Vinal trying to clear this one away, but we'll get cut out quickly. This one, all blue balls so far, and it will just go towards midfield.
I also feel like neither team is willing to go on that full offensive. You can almost see it's primarily solo plays because no one wants to commit too up front. Everyone's so worried about that goal going in because of the earlier state of play. They're almost playing super vigilant defense, but not enough as Echo breaks the stalemate. As soon as I was talking about it, they find the opportunity. And Godspeed, take game one.
Well, past an extra half of Rocket League, 250 to be exact. Godspeed. They go the length, they go the wire. And in 2 games to start off a series, this team made it a nail biter, but they finished it.
I love it. It took a little bit longer than I would have liked, but you can see the number of shots as well in this singular game by both squads. I appreciate it. At the end of the day, very, very well done. High scoring as well, but Godspeed, it got iffy in that OT. I was still very worried throughout the entirety.
Oh, exactly. It just felt that you couldn't breathe there. We're on the edge of your seat trying to see one touch can go your way or it doesn't, and that could just end the game. Godspeed does a great job here of being able to secure this win. But now, for Kineko Soup, you just put yourself on straight display saying, we can play with the best here. This team had it. I feel if they were just able to kind of play the early game a little better, not go down 3-0, it could be a different story here. But the story is written by the victor, and Godspeed take game number 1. Game number 2, quick 5 minutes on the docket. Godspeed trying to take another commanding lead to get this series going.
And I think for Kineko Soup as well, it's a test of how quickly you can go off the start. Remember, the reason that they lost some of those early goals is because they tried to play slow and then had to play up to Godspeed's pace. This time around, they're starting off fast. They're starting off with that aggression. So Godspeed answer right back. I'm expecting long balls. I'm expecting the hard shots from about midfield to inner. Not so much drops or light taps. It's going to be speed all the way through.
Well, speed kills, and Godspeed trying to see if they can kill this back line. Quick touch off the back wall, won't see too much. Echo not in time, but a little 1-2. Go away, the demo warded off, but the defense still holding on strong.
It's there once again. We're seeing the inklings come through, but for Godspeed, it's a little bit of a touch and go moment. Echo with the slow pass over. Nice demo as well. Shalom allowing Mikon to get in front of it. So I'll play off the backboard though as it streaks back to the wrong side. Kineko Soup maybe a little bit spicy on that one. High ball off the top bar. Godspeed missed an opportunity.
Yeah, that's one of those touches you wish you can just have back. But you know, this is where you're saying, hey, shoot or shoot. We can't worry about it. We just have to find ways to continue putting shots on net. They're going to fall. We just have to continue getting those opportunities. Godspeed right now still looking for that first goal. Both these two teams looking for a first goal. Quick passing play. Will be able to connect. Bimacon going for a second touch on net. Will not see it go. Fincy just trying to flick this one away as Godspeed putting on pressure, but need to get back and stop that one.
After a fierce game 1, we have such a quiet but extremely tense game 2 here. Like 0 goals, but you know if one of them slips up, it would be 3-3 all over again. That's what I feel like right now with the pace of play, with the exchanges, with the aggression. A nice little tap there. Tried to get a floater by, tried to get a sneaky one, but Kineko Soup aren't faked out.
You know, and this is where I'm loving the way we're starting to see some of these teams. We're talking about Rigorous and his solo plays early on. He's starting to get back to it. I feel he's looking for that one bounce to really change things up. Kineko Soup has done a good job of just holding firm. But, you know, that last pass by Fincy, he just saw himself working his way back to try to go for the retaliation. But that's where I want him to see him go to the front line, try to make things awkward, see if you can give Echo or Rigorous an extra chance. But Rigorous work through Fincy.
Yes.
He gets it. He grabs it. Godspeed. Took him an entire half, but they score first.
And that was the most brute force goal I think I've seen so far. Hard dribble straight up the middle of the pitch, and you had 2 wings to help you out to finish. That was Godspeed having enough of the fancy play. They quite literally brute force with all 3 and said, screw our net. This is our one shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta just go barbaric and say, we hit, we're gonna go in, we're just gonna throw cards at ball and
Yeah.
see if it falls through, and it does. Man, we saw all the mechs, now we saw brutality. Which one will win the games? This one won't go for Fitz. He's too high. He goes, and Shalom gets 50'd out. Rigorous staying with it, has an extra foot, gets a reset. We'll see one more touch, but no one there to do too much for it. Pass back on mid, but a beautiful save there, as the shot will just be warded away.
And I'm kind of scared here. Vinel's starting to get active once again. Vinel was the one that quite literally started Kanoko Soup's run of goals to tie things up before. And I'm sure Godspeed are also keeping that in check. Wherever Vinel is, you got to keep eyes for a long ball shot or an up close a dance. Demo out by Shalom. And same with one more as Godspeed. Keep themselves close. Mikan body blocks, I think, from the open net. Tries another shot. They do. Vinel from a very tight angle scores to tie it up.
Or you're seeing the type of angles they're having to come in. Not easy whatsoever. And Fitzy just did not think that one was going through. What a job just to slot it in. But 113 is overtime in the wings. Or will we see the end in regulation? Stay and see, ladies and gentlemen. Not much time left here in game number 2.
No, there isn't. Are we going to get a second OT is my big question. I mean, I don't think Godspeed want that. It was so tight last time. You burned actually 3 minutes. At this point, we're almost into game number 3. You have to know both teams are hemorrhaging for this game. They want it so bad that they're bleeding out for it. Where are they going to go? Shalom getting in front of it. Vinel picks it up instead. Great round, a great carry out. Are they going to score off with 40 seconds left?
I believe. And Fancy might have a chance. This one needs to go, but a tight angle won't be able to see it. Echo will just get blocked there in the midst as a final 30. An all-out rush here to see this one end. Who will grab it? Echo, small touch, Rigorous, off the backboard, won't see it. Yes, he will.
That's the way you do it. You keep at it, and I think this was actually off the head of one of the defenders, if I can see that correctly. Who came in? Yeah, I think it was just a scuffle, and it bounced on one of the Kanoko members. Listen, they forced goal number 1. Goal number 2 was just straight up scrum in front of that net. That's exactly what you need. Stop the fancy. Sometimes brute force is the answer. Mikan also slotted away from that goal attempt with 10 seconds left. Godspeed trying to juggle it out of their own side.
One of those passes they were hoping to connect. Would have just tried something there, but this one just needs to hit. Will they be able to? That one,
Nice.
Just enough of a tap by Rigorous. Godspeed this time get a close one, but in regulation.
Yeah, I love it. Again, this was just fast-paced, furious action with an emphasis on the defensive swings there. Maybe not so much defense. It was much more targeted one-on-one defense. That's what it felt like. That's why those balls constantly got snagged out of the air, constantly keeping each other in check. I loved every single moment. It still had my heart beating a little bit too fast for comfort, though. Godspeed. You can't allow those types of heart attacks to catch us off guard, even though you're 2-0 up. Like, I appreciate that.
No, exactly. It's where you're saying, hey, you're fighting some hard-fought battles, but try to make the game easy for yourself in little points. But this is where they're saying, hey, it's hot soup. You got to handle with care, because if not, you're going to get burned. But no, forgot to. They played well. I like how they play under pressure. When they need a goal, it doesn't seem that they're trying to overextend for it. Have done good jobs of containing themselves. But in game number 3, Kanoko Soup trying to hold on here in the undefeated portion of this bracket, as Godspeed looking good, but just need to get the job done.
And I think there's going to be much more emphasis on Vinel. Where is Vinel? Is Vinel going to be aggressive, or is Vinel actually going to take a step back from trying to be the all-star striker and leave it a little bit more up to Mikan and Shalom? I wonder if that's going to happen, because Kanoko Soup have to realize Vinel is going to be marked for quite some time. Godspeed slowing down the pace here, making sure not to lose that ball in too many risky behaviors.
Risky, can they risk it for the biscuit? And that's what we'll have to find out. This one will just be able to cut to the defense. No one back for Godspeed. Fancy says, here I am, peekaboo, did I scare you?
Oh,
We're going back the other way. He goes from both ends of the field, grabs the save, grabs the goal, can do it all.
I love that moment right there. You saw the 50 go into your own corner. It wasn't even 50. It was just a dance away by Rigorous, but Godspeed, really nice opportunity made and gathered. Now it's Kanoko Soup going crap. Now we got to play a little bit smarter here. We have to find a way to tie things up.
Well, and that's where they're saying, hey, we have 4 minutes now here, boys. We
Yep.
got to make ourselves just unlock something that hasn't been there. We need our passing plays to come in. We've seen them do a good job, but they haven't been able to stretch the field out too much. This is where you haven't been able to get Godspeed thin there on the lines. You've seen some great goals, but due to some amazing positioning, well, they need to get right back to it. Echo just going to have a long clear here to try to reset things back on the half of Kino Soup.
I wonder where it's going to come from.
Yeah,
I'm watching this one, and it feels much slower between both teams. Game 1, very offensive, very, very fast. No defense. Game 2, much more defense, still very fast. This one feels a tiny bit slower, and it feels like everyone's still juggling. This feels like a regular Game 1 in a series almost.
Yeah, just long clears. Try to see if you can bait someone out. Position they're not supposed to. Fincy off the crossbar. That crossbar has been putting in a lot of work today. I believe it's the 4th one, and that's going to be the 5th. Echo will get denied. Long clear. Back home. Khan. Yes, he can.
You gotta love it. For Kanoko Soup, you see almost the exact same thing occur. Opportunity to bound. Finchy wasn't ready, and the ball just rolls on in. So far, both teams have scored an awkward 1 goal. But remember, for Godspeed, you're playing with extra time. You're 2-0 up in the series, and if this one, you're trying to test out even more action, all the power to you.
I feel for Godspeed right now. This is the team that we've seen them down a goal, we've seen them up goals, and they get stronger as the game goes on. So they allow that first one. It's not the first for the series for themselves, so they're saying, hey, we know this team can score. We just need to continue outpacing them at what we're doing. They had a great goal. That's all it was. Let's go get one ourselves.
Goal 2, goal 3, goal 4, whichever ones will work. Either way, you want to take the second series in style. Continue on with almost 100% rate of games won. Echo with a demo. A quick little pickup for themselves. And I wonder if Kanoko Soup are going to start getting physical as well. We're down to 2 minutes. We're looking at a possible extra OT here. But Vinal's been very quiet this game around.
Yeah, and I feel they're starting to really keen in on him. He saw himself really leading the point charts over the last couple of games. So they're saying, hey, this is where our main distributor. If we can find a way to contain him, we can contain this team. But, not just about containing. You got to find a way to dominate a certain portion. They've done good, but they've been struggling with some of these goals.
Really, really nice demo. I felt like Godspeed were going to try and use that early clear to push up the middle for a goal. Kanoko Soup recognized that, said, no, you're not going to play that game. Now it's a fight on the left side pitch. Not going to happen. Bounce back. Rigorous sees that ball roll by, grabs it up on the left side, and instead tries to carry it by. One defender pass, kick flip backwards, high over the head of one of the extra defenders. Mikon picks it up, though. No big challenge. Echo denies further aggression once again. Minute left in game number 3.
Yeah, this is it. Final 60 seconds. Are we going to see OT for the second time this series, or can Kino Soup be able to hold on for their lives? Godspeed right now trying to say, let's go back to a break. Let's hear the jazz. Let's hear the
what a defense!
And let's get a demo going.
It's the defense of the ball carrier. I love it. You can see that boost, the hold. It was almost called out in real time. Godspeed. Teamwork makes the dream work. With 45 seconds left, Kanoko Soup about to be 3-0'd.
Yeah, and this is where Kanoko Soup, they came in and they played a tough team in Zen Esports like we were talking about, but Godspeed has just been able to just get one more than them. That's all you need here in the game of Rlcs. You don't need 3-4 more goals. You just need one more. And Godspeed trying to see, can we get 2? That one won't see it, but this one will not. That crossbar put in extra work tonight.
There was a micro patch. They shrunk the bars of the goal just enough to make this close. I mean, in the famous words of a famous movie driver, it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. It is winning that all counts at the end of the day. 5 seconds left. Do not quote me on that one. As Godspeed look for their second series of the day.
You got to go fast, and Godspeed working quick. A quick 3-0 here. Did see an OT in game number 1, and I think that was one to start off the palette for the rest of us, because that was an intense series. You might see a 3-0, but it was a closer series than if you didn't watch it. But wow, well, I think Kanoko Soup, this is a dangerous team. They were 1 or 2 shots away from really changing things up. Godspeed doing a heck of a job. Fincy doing a great job of really showing off both prowess of scoring and saves potential that he's had. But it's been all 3 of them. It hasn't been one person standing above the rest. It's all of them standing equally so far.
Everyone tries to pull their own weight, and I appreciate it. And they're also still adjusting. It feels like every time they're trying to find a different rhythm to play against the opponent. I mean, this time they were the ones with the baton. Give a lot of credit to Godspeed. Excuse me, played extremely fast in game 1 and then had to reel it back. And I always talk about it, it's almost like a chess game. Whenever you see an opponent make an adjustment, you have to make the next adjustment. You always have to try and one-up your opponent in the strategy game, and that's what we did see at the very end. Very nice by Godspeed.
Well, looking around the gauntlet, Kinotrope 3-0 against NDR, and a team who I had my looks on in Goblin Barrel. They take down the 3 seed and Ferris Stella 3-0. That's not just a win. That's a butt kicking that is saying, hey, get out of the way. We know where we're going, and main event is that way.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we almost expected out of every top seed coming in this round 2. 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, very, very nicely done. I believe Overlooked also got put up against Spite, so they will get a win as well. So they are back in kind of the running for the top spot. And I will say, listen, I gave Overlooked a lot of props, and I did say there were 2 situations that will occur once you're signed usually. Once you get that big one, you go God mode. 2, you do falter. The weight, the pressure will get to you, and I'm wondering which kind of condition they go to as well.
I think for that team in Overlook, they're just happy to see something go positive for themselves. They're saying, hey, you know, you could say it's an FF, you could say it's a DQ. We could say it's a win at the end of the day. It's 1-1 now for ourselves. And that's a very talented team who I feel if the mental goes, they just need to keep going. But where they go, we'll have to find out. Still a couple games still left on here. J-Chicken Esports did beat Charmy 3-0, so they will continue on through the upper portion of the bracket. Zen Esports, Tough Baby Methods still going at it. Gen Team, Bear Claw Gaming still 0-0 on our end, as well as Raw and United Unks. But, you know, a lot of great Rocket League in the APAC region. What have you seen so far that if you've liked, Orbital?
I've loved how fearless a lot of the teams are to go for that aggression until they are marked. One of the things I really, really personally hate is playing slow and trying to figure out your opponent. Like, I get it. I understand that is the right method. Do not get me wrong. I understand studying in game 1 is important. But I am a man that loves blood in the waters when it comes to fierce fights like this. I want blood in the water until someone takes a small step back. But the level of proactivity, although maybe unrefined, is exciting nonetheless.
Yeah, and this is where we are starting to see who's who. When you have as long as an offseason as you did, it's not really an offseason because we're still in the Boston Major. Technically, we went from 1 to 2. We had a big holiday break, but you know, you get 3-4 weeks of off time. That's a lot of Rocket League these players are putting in. So, you know, new schemes, new tactics, but same old, a big win here. Godspeed will continue to look on who they have next. It's going to be interesting. I think maybe we see Goblin Barrel next, who I think will be very fitting to see Repeat Hero and Tank. J-Chicken Esports doing great on their end, but you know, it's only time can tell here. But, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, we have to go to another break. We still have some more games to wait on. A quick little update. Reunited Unks did win 3-1, so you know, only 2 games left on the docket to be waiting here. Don't go anywhere. Smash the heart button. Leave a follow. We're growing every single day. We need your help to continue doing it. Be right back with some more Rocket League. Predictions are up, and so is the hype. We find ourselves in round number 3. Goblin Barrel will be stepping onto the pitch against Godspeed, but Orbital, we'll have to see if this team can get going. A team that I called on early on to be a dark horse in this bracket. They were ranked 15th. Now they're ranked 4th. The difference in just 2 games is eye-opening, but a lot of people could say we kind of saw this, but 2 ex-members of Godspeed and the Super 7 tank will find themselves looking to continue on the day. But Godspeed, they've looked good, but I still think they can look even better.
Yep, that was what I was about to say. Godspeed, of course, 6-0 so far in current games. Score is still waiting to see. I want to say more control and refinement coming up here, but I am curious to see what'll happen going up against Goblin Barrel, as you talked about. Watching these squads kind of face off will be a treat for the eyes. Again, whoever wins this locks in their position as the last series that they'll need to play on the day. That's how Swiss works, and that's how they want it to be.
And, you know, I'm interested to see how this games go on. We have a team who has played a lot together in terms of Ripupi and Hirio. They saw themselves come together for the first time here on Godspeed in 2022. So that should already tell you, these players, they know how to get it going. They know what to do. But Godspeed trying to say, we're trying to strike fear into the heart of the Goblin Barrel. Will they be able to crush it? We'll find out. Fincy has played well on the defensive side, has seen some big goals throughout these couple of games. We'll see if it continues on.
One of the first times that we see Godspeed actually on that blue lining as well. A little bit different colors for them. That's the fun of it all. But that early demo, I think, says a lot. They're looking for a win, whether by finesse or absolute fury. And I appreciate it. Goblin Barrel, as you said, previous teammates, but I don't know what they're going to put up here today. So it looks a little bit spooky there. Ripupi sets themselves up on the corner, but doesn't really finish anything off.
So Ripupi, I'm looking to be that defensive savant. I'm looking for him to really clean up a lot of the back line. Him and Tank are going to really have that big role to play. But Hirio, he is a offensive machine, can be able to light up a scoreboard on any day possible. So I'm looking for them to really try to hold him there. Don't let Hirio be the hero here for Goblin Barrel. Try to contain him and see what else he can go look at. But for Godspeed, do what you've done best. Use all 3 members to get the job done.
That might almost have to happen here. That was a demo out to stop this offense. And it is going to slow down, but Echo wants it to keep going. Tank going to carry this one off to the left side. Tripled up on the attack, though, and Godspeed kind of keeping the pressure. Echo sends it off the backboard into the hands. Is anyone picking it up? Rigorous is there and scores it off the top left corner. Well played by Godspeed.
That's the second one, able to bang and down off the crossbar here for Rigorous, just showing off the accuracy. You can't really stop that one. That's one where you just say you hope to have a touch, and none there for Goblin Barrel. But a first goal quick. Godspeed has done this over the last couple of series. They need to find a way to stack them up. We saw that in series number 2, 3 quick goals in game number 1. But that's when you started seeing them maybe start slacking off. We're going to see them try to hold this line a little longer here and see if maybe they can get the goose egg. But this one going down, won't see it for Rigorous.
I mean, it's close enough, though, and I actually want to say that I like this Godspeed a little bit more. It feels controlled with how they're playing, and it doesn't feel messy. It doesn't feel like they're overly aggressive or overly defensive. Their movement seems very methodical, and I really do appreciate that when we said we want to see them get better over this series. Fewer goals, I don't care. I want to see that clean play, and they do it once again. I can highly say that I love this Godspeed play.
You see Fancy there with the Real Madrid, because he's saying real skill all over here, and Echo saying, hey, I could try to bank this in. How about I get the assist right now? Get my teammate an opportunity. 2-0 here near halftime. Godspeed trying to strike quickly, but this is where Goblin Barrel, unfortunately for Hirio, ran out of boost there. May have had a shot on net, but they're trying to continue riddling on the goals.
I mean, this is beautiful work. Are they going to do it again? This time a banger of a shot from that left side. Not going to make it in, but it doesn't really matter. 2 minutes to burn with a 2-0 lead. And Goblin Barrel, they're going to be sending themselves down at the castle crashing angle and hope for a victory of their own. They need to score 2-3 if they want to take game 1.
You can see it's a Clash Royale out there for the most part, but
Yep.
But for Gotsi right now, they're saying, hey, it's a clash, but we're out here. We're trying to see if we can dance with this team.
Yeah, are they the P.E.K.K.A. warrior then? Like what would that make Godspeed? I don't know. Like that is a question at this point, right?
I'm gonna say we're Mega Knight. We're gonna come out here for some big demolition, the big destroying all tank.
Oh, what a dig! What a dig!
Yeah, that can't get any better than that. I think they're trying to give our content manager Chris Gino some extra clips to go get.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't cast Rocket League that often, but I can for sure say that is the closest dig I've ever seen in my casting of Rocket League. And Rapoopy's pissed as well. Swings it on and says, dig this one out. Scores for Goblin Barrel.
What a flick there by Tank. Just an absolute beam onto the net there and just clean up duty from the back end. But Goblin Barrel on the board at the very least here in game number 1. This team's had some close games. I believe went 5 in their first series. So another team who knows how to duke it out. Fancy, this one will just go towards midfield. Are going to allow for the passing plays to go. The 1-2. Can they hit 3? And Hirio will not go, but boost advantage now here for Goblin Barrel.
I think for Godspeed, they're going to try and kind of slow this one down. They know that they have the lead, and they've contained before with a minute left, and that's why Goblin Barrel trying to throw them out of seeing double demo here just to create a little bit more space, but Echo's actually going to take advantage. Poopy in the center, dribbles in. Rigorous goes low, misses, so the ball's in a little bit of free form here. Rapoopy picks it up one more time. Rigorous takes it out, constantly keeping it away from the net. I like it.
And you see it just cool, calm, and collective there. Even Fincy did not panic off that save. Just said, hey, I'm going to work through my progressions. Don't need to get fancy. Got to allow fundamentals. And the fundamentals showing itself on the defensive side. Nothing to see. Final 10 seconds. Goblin Barrel looking to try at least take us to OT. Have a chance here. It's ticking down. Will it tick through? But a beautiful save. This one needing to hit the ground. And it will.
I love those last 45 seconds, and I wanted to point that out just one more time. I know you watch Goblin Blair. They sent a lot of shots in, but I want to point out that Godspeed never lost focus. It might have looked close, but every single time a shot went off, Godspeed were there knocking a little bit of Goblin Barrel off course, constantly tweaking those shots so they never were clean on the angle. Really, really well done on that defensive to basically say, we don't got to score. You just can't make a goal.
Yeah, they just zapped them out of existence there. And when things got dangerous and they said, hey, we're almost about to take this tower, for instance, here for Godspeed. We're almost in that net. We got one. Can we get 2? But Godspeed, they held on. They're the perfect defense towards the back end. Hirio's been playing phenomenal, but Tank, I feel he rose big to the occasion. Rapoopy did a great job of finding some big saves like we were hoping he would. But, now looking at Goblin Barrel, you're down 1-0 right now. Godspeed has been in this position. They just need to continue riding that wave, but a lot has to change. And I feel for one, can you be able to handle the speed that Godspeed has been throwing at you?
The limited speed as well. This is a team that is recognizing that they're going to have to make a couple sharp turns, and they cannot afford to go over the rails, which I really, really like. You can see it there. Finchy with a quick demo, ensuring the start is once again a little bit off kilter for Goblin Barrel. But Goblin Barrel taking a streak straight towards that center, saying, screw the playbook. I'm going to try a one-man army tactic. I actually kind of appreciate it. You can see Godspeed recognizing, okay, pace of play, picking up a little bit more. Let's adjust as well. Let's play fast, and let's play aggressive.
Well, the aggression continue on. Hirio doing a heck of a job there, just being a pest. And if y'all remember, Rapoopy and Hirio, they've been top 4 in Apac before. So a team that's seen the top of the echelons of this mountain that is Asia-Pacific. But this is where they're trying to say, we want to get right back to it. Have had a stellar day. Can they see a first goal? And I think that's the difference. They need to have some sort of comfort, something to lean on. And they've just been on their back heels for the most part of this game.
It's not been good. It hasn't felt good either. And for Goblin Barrel, I mean, it's not the end of the world. You're already 2-0, so even if you drop this one, you have 2 more chances to make it in. It's not the end of the world, but it really, I think, says something about the story of these players saying, dude, I saw this org before, I was on this org before, and I really got to kind of make a statement about it. So I appreciate that they're still trying to dig and take victory for themselves.
Well, this is where victory comes to those who work, and Godspeed trying to do nothing but that. Have a hard hat in hand, trying to get the tool belt underneath them. Good shot will be warded away, and that's just one to put some pressure on. See if they bite. See if we can make them use any boost unnecessarily. And for Godspeed, just trying to slowly weather away that defense.
I want to say it's to see if Goblin Barrel is antsy yet, right? Are you antsy to almost full commit to a lot of these defenses? Are you overestimating your need for defense? That's the big question here. Finchie's finding a little bit of open ground. Very nice defense, though, coming out from Hero. And that's going to be another touch as Rigorous sends it streaking in. 3 minutes on the clock left, and Godspeed move 1-0.
And to think, he coming in from Praise, first open with these two in Echo and Fincy, but he's fitting right in. Rigorous has been an absolute phenomenal add to these two, as he's just saying, hey, it's 1, 2, and 3. We're all making this work, but he's being a big part of it.
I mean, he's a big reason why Series 1 went their way, I think. In that, I will stand by that statement continuously. It feels like Rigorous has really turned on. The Afterburners tries to go for a second. Nice bump from underneath, though. Goblin Barrel denying another goal, trying to keep it as close as possible, maybe weather a bit more time. Sirio sends one streaking towards a net, but good defensive play from Finchie.
Oh, then that was a clip waiting to happen, the Echo Rigorous duo right now. They have just really been able to put on some big plays, and we said it, Rigorous is leading this team in open number 1 in assists, so we knew he was going to be able to spread the ball, but his ability to shoot is top tier, and when you pair that up with Echo, Fincy coming in there to really hold things down, it's a match made in heaven. Quick flick will just get denied. Tank says no there as Godspeed trying to push the envelope. Under 2 minutes. Best chance so far for Goblin Barrel, trying to put it right back onto the half of Godspeed. But this one right off the car as Ripupi trying to continue it on.
Oh, what a snap as well. Echo with almost a fast breakaway. Forces Goblin Barrel to redirect once again. Right side, is it going to be enough? Again, denied. Rigorous playing on top of the defenders. It feels like opens up space for Finchie to punt it far. Echo tries to collect, but Tank will clear and hold. 1:30 left. You burn 45 seconds. Really well done by Godspeed. I think this is where they're going to shift to a defensive mindset to try and deny a goal from Goblin Barrel.
A good shot there. And I think for Goblin Barrel, they've been trying for that first goal. They just want something to stick, but it continues just to slip off the wall. And this team could have a whole different mentality if they just had some breathing room. But it's just been, hey, we're on our toes, we're on our back heels, we're unbalanced so far. We need something to go in, and I'm looking for Tank to really be that next player. We've seen a lot of Ripipi. We've seen a lot of Hirio. Hirio with a good save, but pops this one right in front of the net. Nothing to see there as the defense once again wards it off.
Oh, Rigorous there. What a carry! Let the Dino roar as the second, when you clinch it here, Godspeed putting themselves +2. And just over Hirio's head, right back in the same spot as before, top left.
That one was one where you just put yourself on a different pedestal. And look at that, Godspeed. A little trickery, different on the kickoff. Wanted a different look to try to see if they can get Goblin Barrel off their edge. And that's right there just saying, hey, they're just trying to pull things out. They're trying to throw the kitchen sink at us. They're going into their bag. And it's continued to work on. No one back home. Final 30 seconds. Godspeed trying to put the nail in the coffin with a third goal. Still a chance, I would say here, but Rigorous saying chances. What chances? That won't go.
Doesn't need to go, though. Remember, it's just about burning time. And Ripupi out of boost means that ball streaks to the right side. With only 7 seconds left, I don't foresee Goblin Barrel scoring 2, and Godspeed continue their undefeated run. 8 games straight so far.
And, and that's one where they're saying, hey, no matter what the game is, we got to take this 1 minute at a time, one goal at a time. And I've loved how they've been able to play in waves. They do good. They play so aggressive in the first 60 seconds. That's when their defensive battle starts to come in. Once that halftime goes, that's where I feel their offense really starts taking off. They find great ways to put the opposition in a tough situation by boost starving them. They're getting a couple bumps. They're not getting that many demos, but their passing ability has been stretching out this field so well that we haven't seen too many teams be able to stay up with that. But for Godspeed, you can't oversee it. like we mentioned, one goal at a time. And now they're going into game number 3 here, up 2-0.
I also really appreciate their timing of extending their aggressive moments. One of the things that I really respect for them, and I mentioned it in game number 2 a little bit, but game 1 really exemplified it, how to stretch a minute out, how to go from a 30-second offensive to a 1-minute offensive when you know you have control of that ball. Winding down time is one of the most frustrating things to watch as an opponent, and I really don't see Goblin Barrel able to break that piece. So unless Goblin Barrel gets a really strong set of goals early, I foresee Godspeed just doing the same thing that they've done for games 1 and 2.
And this is series number 3. You're warmed up. You've already
Yeah.
had a couple games underneath you, so it's where you're saying, hey, we're feeling good, we're feeling hot. Let's just continue on the stream. But for Goblin Barrel, you haven't been put in a position like this before. You've been able to take teams down to the wire and been able to finish it. Can you do it one more time here in game 3 to at least keep on your tournament lives here in the upper portion? I feel it for Godspeed. Do what you've been able to do best. That's score first.
I like how we make it sound so easy as well. It's not like these guys are playing at the top of the game right now, looking for that APAC, third day in, trying to succeed here in the Swiss bracket. Just score a goal. It's just that easy. It really isn't. These guys are playing so well. Minute burn with a lot of back and forth. Goblin Barrel starting to get a lot more traction in the passing game.
And, you said it best. And at this portion of the RLCS, at this portion of pro play, it's who makes the mistake first, who blinks. And when you're playing at that type of pressure, it's so tough to play perfect for an entire series out, just might alone 5 minutes. And, for Godspeed, there have been moments they've been trying to clean up, but their ability to adapt, their ability to not allow small mistakes, and they use mistakes to their advantage, of saying, hey, that's just an extra play. That's just an extra opportunity for us to try to grab something for ourselves, as Rigorous denied there at the net, 3 on him. And that's going to be enough to say no there. Godspeed continue trying to hammer, but not much to do.
That was a really good dribble as well. Goblin Barrel showing that they still got some moves in there, but Finchie denies even a play, dropping that demo on Rapupi. Puts the ball back into Rigorous's hands. Echo bumps slightly in mid. Rapupi on the side, but Rigorous takes out the secondary, so no pass can be made. Rapupi changes to a singular attack pattern, and it's still not going to work. Godspeed have burned 2 minutes off the clock. Still waiting for their full offensive, though. Opportunity, Hirio carries it. No dice.
Look at that. We're talking about playing perfect. A small ball just not going your way almost led to a goal there. Great job from the third man, staying back and being able to help his teammate out. And that's something I like from Godspeed so far. They've been able to cover everybody. And Echo says, give me an inch, I take a mile, and I'm here to take a lead.
Echo did this as well, I believe, back in Series 2, Game 1 against Vinyl and the rest of Kanoko Soup. If they spot an opportunity, Echo is willing to send it in a steal and shot. Really, really well done to break the stalemate.
Well, and now, for Goblin Barrel, we've said this over the last couple of series, now you have to not just play yourself, not just play your mental, but play the time. And when you're trying to score quick, when you've been playing quick, you're trying to speed up your process. Sometimes when you speed things up, mistakes tend to happen. They can not desperately allow for a second goal to come in. The quick shot on net will just be warded off. Rapupi able to get it going. But this is where Goblin Barrel have to get back. Echo continuing to flourish. Rigorous pushing this down. Will he find them? Yes, he can.
And it's again that tight left corner angle that is brutal to watch, but I mean, you see that Echo flew on out, swings, and wasn't as tight as I thought. Just a wide open net after that pass. You mentioned Rigorous need to show up, match pace with these two players, and they're doing so in excellent fashion.
Yeah, and this team right now, they seem to be in a great groove, and when you're playing to your own rhythm from there on, you're just saying, hey, keep turning the music on, let's just keep playing ourselves. And towards the end of it, they might just look like, hey, we're just going to go into almost like a free play mindset. Let's just keep the ball away from them. Let's find a way to just maybe score one more and just see this one kind of come to a close, because 3 in a minute and a half is tough. 2 is possible, but 3 seems improbable.
All right, well, there it is. Listen, Echo with the hat trick here to cap off this Swiss bracket. Wolfie, I don't know if we can talk enough about Echo now, the one that might have put the final stamp on their ticket forward.
Yeah, I think when we look at the stats coming to next week, it's going to be a whole lot different than that first ball. But one more net, will it go? No. At the very least, I'm saying you want to take the 0 off if you're Goblin Barrel. The last thing you need is just see yourself get offered, but they're doing a good job putting pressure. They're playing to the whistle.
I love it. Minute left, but this is where we're going to see Godspeed extend that minute long. All of a sudden, Goblin Barrel going to be a little bit bewildered about why they can't hang on the ball, why the ball is almost hanging in the air for longer and longer. You can see here, long ball clears, Echo carrying on down the field. We got 50 seconds left.
A final 50 seconds, ladies and gentlemen, and a ticket to main event potentially in the helms. Godspeed. They have fought hard all day for this moment. Now trying to reap the rewards and go home early here tonight. And what a job. You don't really see yourself trying to struggle too much through the bracket. You don't want to see at game number 5 or even game number 4. Godspeed not going to have to sniff either up. All they're going to do is just smell the road to victory, as that will finish it. Fincy, 18 seconds left, finds himself up 4-0.
That was a treat, by the way. Rigorous went forward. Echo tried to get in the middle, and then Finchy was like, I got it, guys. Don't worry. We're just trying to put emphasis on the ending there. Godspeed. Keep it straight and narrow and looking clean all the way out. I believe one of the only undefeated teams here in the Swiss bracket.
I believe so. Kinetro played phenomenal. Did lose just one game in their series. Are still undefeated right now. But, Godspeed, they came out. They came to play. They got tested in a game number 1. That could have gone either way, but they finished the job, and that's going to finish it all. The timer, zeros all over the board, and a 4-0 final score here for the Godspeed Wolves. And, here, Orbital, I think this team, they really showed us a lot. And one thing is that they can play fast, and when they need to start getting going, they get going. They don't look back. They just continue looking forward.
Yeah, they got cleaner and cleaner and more concise. I said it from Series 1. They started off slow, and then they got the speed. Then they had the speed, but they didn't have the control. Then they had the control, but not the defense, and then it all came together so clean. And I do want to go ahead and expand on my point. I had to double check this. They not only had undefeated streak in Pool B, they were undefeated across the entirety of the pools. Every other seed so far has gone down one game, at least. Godspeed is the only undefeated here in the Swiss bracket stage.
And actually, I think they're the first team to potentially even do that in org history. So, a lot for this team coming in here tonight. I was just trying to think about it now. And, this team played great. I think when you saw them have their highs, I don't even think we've seen the ceiling yet for themselves. They had a couple lows where even their lows, they still got through games. We said their first game of the series, they didn't play their best, and they still won. And good teams know how to do that. We see it at every single junction, in every esport, any actual sport. We see teams be able to get through those hurdles. Godspeed did it now, but now they have to say, hey, we're done for the day, boys. We chalked up our 3 games. Now we can find ourselves seeing the rest of the night however we want. Maybe see some other streams out there. But, heck of a job for the boys.
Yeah, I mean, Rigorous really came through, and I know you said, and we've said it like 50 times now, but Rigorous kind of coming in as a new guy had a little bit more to prove, did amazingly well. Series 2, I really don't think would have gone as cleanly if that game 2 didn't come around, where Rigorous quite literally scoring goals, making sure to dig in those saves. And it really allowed the rest of the team to feel a little bit more comfortable, where Echo was flying with that spotlight towards the very end. The entire team knew what they needed to do, and I hope they continue to do so.
Yeah, and I think right now this team's going to go back, watch some great film, and kind of see where they want to continue going. But I think what they showed here today is, hey, you're a contender in Apac right now. You saw yourself get top 8 in that last one. Now you're seeing yourself, hey, where can we go with this? But, Godspeed. Work is not done. This was just a qualifier. The main event starting next Friday. Where can you catch it? Right here on this channel, Orbital. What a day today was. I know you say you don't get to see too much Rocket League. What's your take here on at least the Apac setting?
I want to see the pedal to the metal all day long. It went speed and then it went refined, but it was still fast, and I appreciate it. You keep me on the edge of my seat, and even if I'm not on the desk, I'll be tuning in.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, hope you all at home had a great time with us here tonight. I know I did. And, Orbital, for us, we're in NA doing APAC. Appreciate you waking up here tonight. I know you said you haven't gone to sleep at all. So,
Hey, listen. No. I got my rest. I'm good.
But ladies and gentlemen, like always, smash the heart button, leave a follow. We're growing every single day. We need your help to continue doing it. And tune in. Check our socials, Godspeed ES on X, on Instagram, on Facebook now. And, a little teaser, maybe a website coming in here couple soon. You'll see maybe a main event next week, a little teaser on what that can look like. And like always, big appreciation to Rohan in the background, pushing all the buttons, making the stream look wonderful, as well as our content creator manager who's also up, and Chris Gino, grabbing some amazing clips. You can find all our social media. But, Orbital, before we get out of here, anything to tell the people at home?
No, just keep watching Godspeed and let them see that gods do not bleed.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, hope you have a great rest of your morning, rest of your day. We'll see you all next time for some more Godspeed Esports.